Welcome to Game Changer Weekly. I am your host, B, and with me, our other host, John. How are you doing this Tuesday night, John?
Man, I feel excited. This is fantastic. We have a whole new thing going on here. Game Changer Weekly is coming back, and we're alive, baby. So we were given the call to come over here and apply what we know over there to over here, and well, we'll see what happens when it comes to all that. But yeah, Game Changer Weekly here is back. Thank you to Cassidy Haynes. Happy to be part of the BodySlam family. Brant, I'm sure you feel the same way too, right?
Oh, yeah, this is a full circle moment for me. I started our podcast, the GCW Plant Podcast, because I was just getting into GCW wrestling, saw Game Changer Weekly as the only one out there that was giving reviews and talking GCW. So I wanted to talk GCW as well, and we started our own. And then now to be able to take over Game Changer Weekly, it's awesome. It's fun. This is going to be a fun ride, and our first shows, we already got like two amazing shows we got to cover here, and yeah, I'm excited for what we're going to do here on BodySlam. And big thanks again to Cassidy and everyone at BodySlam getting us in here and letting us do our thing and join the family. And I'm excited to talk a lot of wrestling with a lot of good people.
So to be fair to our fans out there from the Plant Podcast, what we're doing right now is we're going to be doing Game Changer Weekly on Tuesdays, and then we're going to be looking at doing something more like a kickback or a relax type thing with the Plant Podcast on Thursdays. So we're going to try to keep those running live. They've been absolutely successful. So we're going to try to just keep everything rolling as much as possible. If one can't make it, hopefully the other makes it. And we're just going to keep rocking and rolling. It's so much fun to sit down and just talk with the fans. And that's what we're looking at doing here again. So let's see what we can do, my friend. You want to hear a little bit of news? I got one piece of news.
Get the opening news going.
All right. So the one piece of news I wanted to mention here, RIP Virgil, real name Mike Jones from the WWF, 61 years old. Personally, I will always remember the night that Virgil turned on the $1 Million Man. Royal Rumble 1991. Also, the Rockers versus the Orient Express, that was considered at the time one of the top tag team matches in Royal Rumble history. And then this was all the first time that a third of Rumble entrants lasted over 20 minutes. Hit you with that.
Oh, yeah, they used to last a long time back then.
Yeah, it was a little different the way they booked it, especially when it was kind of still new. So they really didn't have the skeleton together as to how this was going to work on a more efficient level.
Yeah. One thing for Virgil and me is going to Comic-Cons, and I always used to go up to
I got to correct you on something. Let me fix this brand real quick. Hold up. Please do this.
Yeah.
There we go. Gotcha.
So Virgil wasn't 61 when he died. Sean confirmed with his management team. He was 41 years old when he had a match with $1 Million Man in 1991.
Oh, God. Yeah, 91.
41 in 1991. So
my goodness.
Off the top of my head,
still working the fans.
I can't do the math off the top of my head, but he was fucking over 70. You know what I mean? Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, because Joey posted about that too. Joey posted about how he didn't realize that he took a Canadian Destroyer for him when he was like 20 years older than he told him he was. So he worked Joey.
Wow.
Yeah, he got everybody. So yeah, I heard that. I was like, oh shit, let me jump on there real quick.
Legend
The dollars aren't being loud, but guys, thank you again for doing this. I'm really happy that you guys are taking over the show. It just got too much for me to try to juggle everything. So I am totally happy, and I have all the faith in the world that you guys be able to do this for us. And I love that you're here. I hope that everybody else gets to enjoy the show, and you guys are going to kill it. I'll be in Atlantic City this weekend, so I'll hop on next week and talk to you guys next Tuesday. We'll talk about that. I'll be actually here for the whole show next Tuesday, and we'll go over that. And I might probably bring some people on from the show that were there that are on GCW. So next week, tune in. But guys, thanks again. I just wanted to fix that Virgil thing because it just blows my mind that he was 41 fucking years old in 1991. And
that is so awesome. It's good to hear. He had a nice long life then.
Yeah. Wow. So yeah, man, you guys killed it tonight. Everybody enjoyed the show. They're in good hands. I'm going to pop it back up the two windows and dip out. So you guys have fun, man.
Thank you, Cass.
I think I appreciate it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I could. That's another good memory. I remember I was gonna bring that up. I was gonna say I think he was even younger because I remember seeing the tweet from Sean earlier in the week. But yeah, Virgil, I used to go up right to go see him at the Comic Cons to try to get a quick picture with him. Him, Rikishi, and Booker T were like always in the same area. So that was a sad thing to hear, especially after seeing him at Hammerstein as the fake Vince McMahon, which was always going to be a memory melted in my brain now.
Wow. Yeah, he was
All
the
right,
one that
so
was.
tonight for our first show. Sorry.
No, I was going to just say the last thing was with Virgil. He was the one that was famous for starting a conversation with you. And then he'd just ask what your name was when he, first met you. And he'd start writing out the autograph. And then you'd be like, no, I don't want it. He's like, I got this for you. And he'd kind of get your dollar that way. It's kind of cool. So just letting you know, that's one of those little, little old school trick.
Working the merch tables all the way. All right, so our first show we are covering tonight is Project GCW from Pop's Nightclub in Sauget, Illinois. And we started off with a really fun and interesting opener as Billy Starks went against Killer Kelly. And I think it was cool just right off the opener. We get a AEW / Ring of Honor wrestler going against the Impact wrestler to open up the show on GCW. And those are little things you can only really see at GCW and on the indies, but all these dream matchups that we won't see on AEW or Impact or any of the big companies. It's nice to see GCW putting them on. And this was one that was a good start to the night, I think.
Yeah, GCW usually likes to start out hot, tons of action, people flying everywhere. And this was a match that I wrote down as more of a slow burner. And it had an old school 80s style of a boots on the ground kind of brawl. And to me, that was welcome because it's just not seen very often at GCW. So every now and then, if I can see an old callback to something that's a little more relaxed and it's more about the struggle storyline than it is about how fancy you can flip and whatnot. The women told a fantastic story, and I'm right there with you. It was great to see Killer Kelly and always a treat to see Billy Starks.
Yes, and I can't remember if you said our winner, but our winner was Billy Starks. It was a good match. I enjoyed it, definitely. Our second match of the night was a three-way match as a new face showed up. I've never seen Ariel Van Gogh going against Dante Leon and Joey Janela. And I loved how it was extreme, kind of went over the building, and Ariel Van Gogh definitely showed us some of his high flying moves. I definitely want to see some more Ariel Van Gogh in GCW, especially like a scramble setting, because I think he would excel in a multi-match.
So I'm right there with you. You took the notes right off of here. Fought all over the arena. I put that it was an action-packed 9.5 minutes. Welcome back, Dante Leon. That's always, I love seeing him. And Ariel Van Gogh, you've seen many times, my friend. His name is Zenshi. You've seen him multiple times. We've actually, go look him up real quick. Ariel Van Gogh, see Zenshi, and then look, we've seen him a couple of times in GCW last year. His first time with GCW was GCW's Worst Behavior on October 28th, 2017.
Oh, so it's been a while. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and he came under a different name. I don't know why, but he had fantastic energy and he worked. No reason. Maybe it's just maybe this is the new him.
I swear to God, when you said Zenshi at first, I went to like Loki's name in WWE when he first started, whatever his name was back then. I was like, wait, that wasn't Loki.
Oh, and our winner in this one ended up being Joey Janela. So that's also nice to see here. And, everybody looked good in this one. No complaints.
Yeah, definitely a fun three-way match. The next match of the evening was a 6-person tag team match as the team of Thrunt, Ali, Effie, and Sawyer Wreck go against the Garbage Wheels, the team of the Garbage Daddies, Alec Price, Cole Radrick, teaming with Jack Cartwheel. I loved Jack Cartwheel being added to this team. I think he just adds another different style, and he's just kind of crazy and all over the place. Him being added to the team was awesome. This was a match full of fan favorites, which was fun to see, and I think it was a good momentum builder for Effie going into the match against Mance Warner here. That was just announced a couple hours ago, actually.
So it's nothing new to the Plant Podcast listeners, but over here at Game Changer Weekly, they're going to find out I watch a lot of GCW with my wife. So the first thing I wrote down here was something that my wife had mentioned, and I kind of agree with her. Allie got this new black and white outfit. It looks awesome. So I just wanted to kind of mention it. That was the one note I have on that. Triple You Can't See Me's by the Garbage Wheels, the old 5-knuckle shuffle. And then we had my note on this one too. The Garbage Daddies / Garbage Wheels. Like, that's a great team. I'm all in for their success, and they've got something. Cole and Price have something here. And didn't we talk about that a long time ago? Beautiful.
Yeah, them being meshing well together as a team, we were kind of talking that we thought would work out, and it definitely has. Sorry. This kind of goes to my first talking point I kind of wanted to bring up. I didn't like the Garbage Daddies getting taking an L here, especially when the next night they're getting a tag team title match against Violence is Forever. I wasn't too fond of a challenging tag team losing the night before a tag team title match. What is your thoughts on the booking of Alec Price lately? Not just with Garbage Daddies, but as of late, because it felt like he had a lot of momentum going on, and then it just kind of slowed down, I think, a little bit.
Okay. I don't know if it was during or before, but I think there was a little bit of slowdown around the time of the JCW tournament. There was a lot of people that really wanted to see him just go, 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 go. Right now, because I know what you're getting at, you're going, look, there should be some type of a singles run here. Is that what you're kind of saying, that you think that maybe there should be more of a push for him to go up?
Yeah, I kind of feel like going back to that JCW, I feel like that was kind of like the letdown as well. And I kind of felt like he cooled off a lot. But even going into there, I don't know if it was injury or just booking, like time-wise, he wasn't being like showcased and one-on-one matches as he was earlier, like in the summer. So I don't know. I feel like they were building him up for something, and it just kind of slowed down a little bit. But at least he's working with Cole Radrick and is giving them both something to do, and they're both killing it in that role. So I am happy with that. But I think, they're kind of slowed down a little bit Alec Price as a singles competitor.
Well, I hope the team also stays together, because they're two of my favorites. But number two, it seems like we have a lot of pairing off and challenges for that GCW tag team title right now. And I'm kind of curious where that's going to lead, because I think we have 4 or 5. If you count the Garbage Daddies, we've had 5 teams total, I believe, that have said on microphone that they are challenging for the title in the last 2 shows. So I hope that this runs into something major, because there's a lot of tag teams and a lot of fantastic potential out there if they could get them all to meet up.
Yeah. I'll pull this up here, because I think this is also another reason why too, and it goes along with the tag teams, as this is kind of a tag team. When we talk about the tag team division, we don't really talk about this team, but Alan said Mason is targeting Cole, and that's why Price is kind of stuck with Cole to help fend off Pero and Charles Mason. We forget Pero and Mason being kind of in that tag division, because they're kind of doing their own thing, helping Mason out in a singles way, not really working together as tag team. But throwing Richard Holiday in there too, that's another talented tag team that could challenge for Violence is Forever.
Dude, there's just so much going on right now. And Alan made a good point here. We have Cole Radrick. It seems like Pero and like Mason and Pero are really up Radrick's butt. And I don't really know the answer as to why yet, but they had no problem splashing that off on Price and really knocking the crap out of him at one point in one of those matches back there. And I don't know. I'm really Mason and Pero versus the Garbage Daddies. That's going to have to happen. I like the idea, and I'd like to see I'd like to see the result.
Yeah, definitely. That would be a fun match. And they kind of have like a little story and feud going on, but with Mason, we kind of don't know what's going on with his head right now. Yeah, exactly. Like how Alan just said too, with the cryptic stuff, we don't know where he's at.
He just kind of fell apart around that tournament. And the only thing we know so far is anything that's going on has to do with Cole. So I'm really curious to see how that all kind of washes out over time. Oh, and our winner in this one was Thrunt.
Yes, these wanted names. To say that word. That's all you
wanted to do. They all sound good, like Thrunt and yeah. Anyway, I'm a child.
All right. All right. Our fourth matchup of the evening was Myron Reed going against Oni El Bendito. I was really looking forward to this. Bendito's kind of been killing it lately. I think he offers a little bit something different from the lucha standpoint with considering his size and strength. I really like how he brings a little different style to those lucha matches. But Myron Reed getting this match, I was really looking forward to. I think something was just off, man. It was just timing was off or something. I want to see this one ran back. It was a little rough to start, but then Myron with his athleticism, I think, brought the pacing back and brought the match back to where it needed to be. But I want to see a little bit longer than 8 minutes, and these two get a little bit more time and hopefully find some more chemistry, because I think they could put on an incredible match when they're both at the top of their game. It just, this night seemed a little bit off, but they recovered, I think, very well.
I wrote down here, both are unfamiliar with the other. That was my first note because that's what I was seeing. Also, Bendito needs to stick to scrambles for right now. I feel like it's going to be a little bit. He comes off green, and I don't mean any of that in a bad way. I just feel like he has a lot of great ideas, but execution's at about 90% right now. And we could kind of hide any of those inadequacies by putting him in a scramble or something 6-person or lucha oriented where he can shine in specific areas that are, 1, 2, 3. Give him 3 spots in 7 minutes, 5 spots where he can shine in 7 minutes. That'd be a hell of a lot better, because right now his singles game still needs some work, and I have no problem with riding along with his career right now in GCW as he improves. Our winner in this one was Oni El Bendito, and it was just under 9 minutes long.
I'm right there with you. I want to see him improve in front of my eyes in a scramble match. Yeah. I want to see the improvement that he going to show, because I think it's there. I think, like you said, the ideas of like some of the shit he could do is kind of like Vikingo, like with the strength and like the craziness that he's thinking of, but it just hasn't kind of meshed well together in GCW. But I'm the same way. I want to see him get that reps in and grow in front of our eyes, because I think he's gonna. I think he even still. I got more notes on the next night, but I think he recovered the next night very well in that match, which was, I was glad to see that, because like I said, I'm excited to see him. At first I was kind of like, who the hell's this guy? After the first time I was like, okay, I wouldn't mind seeing him again. The second time I loved him, and then this time kind of down. It's kind of like been hit or miss, but the misses haven't been horrible. I still, like, we kind of talk about other wrestlers sometimes, like just not quite ready for GCW. I think Bendito's like right there, but I think showcasing his talents in a scramble match would be best at the moment, as you said.
Yeah, it seems like I want to cheer him on. I was there for the first show that he was on. Anytime he hit something big, the crowd popped big. So these fans are waiting for him to dazzle us. And when he does, it's a huge pop. So it's only a matter of time. And when he does improve and when he climbs up the ladder, over time, fans will already be so emotionally involved with him, he could come out looking like a hero. I also love all of his masks. He has a whole bunch of different masks going on out there.
Yeah, I love everything. It just hasn't fully clicked in ring, but I'm excited to see still more of Oni El Bendito. All right, next match was definitely the one I was looking forward to the most this night. The Sauce, Alex Zane, going against Speedball Mike Bailey. I think this match was the perfect antidote after that Myron Reed Bendito match. These two delivered. Holy shit, like their styles are so different and unique, but they contrasted so well in the ring. I love Alex Zane, man. I know every time we see him, he's improved and once again. God damn, he improved even more. And yeah, I love this match. This was this was another match I want to shout out. Impact and New Japan. We got two big companies going against each other again in these two, and yeah, this was a awesome match. Speedball, I want to see him as champion some point in 2024, even as a JCW champion. Kind of I even know, like, I think he traveling around the world with that belt would be a great showcase of GCW with that JCW title.
Yeah, if they'd let him run with it and they'd let him take that out with him to the ring, fantastic. I have no problem with him being a champion over at GCW. The JCW champion, I think, would be really fitting for him right now. He's not a hardcore guy. He's trying to, not cut up the moneymaker over there. Okay, so in this match, what got me was I said that both promoters and fans have to agree that both of these wrestlers are money well spent from both sides. Bailey's been incorporating more entertainment into his wrestling matches. His creativity is really working for him. He has such a high amount of creativity, then he can put matches together like this. It's Cardona-like in his storytelling. It's not Cardona in any way. I'm just saying when he steps into the ring, he can have a spot where Maki makes him cry. These things were not there 2 years ago. He used to be get into the ring and smash mouth, whoop your ass or get your ass whooped, and then out you go. So I do like that. And then my last one was, considering the innovation from both men, I feel like they would really shine on a bigger stage. And I hope that when GCW has the spot, they can bring them back to shine on that stage. Maybe Collective, maybe LA where we're at, anytime.
Oh my God. Yeah. Forget about that one. I agree with you. Speedball's like expanding his character, and I think that's good because when he first came in, he was just putting on 5-star classics, and he's still doing that, but now we see like the more facial reaction. Him working as a heel every once in a while against a Billy or a Maki has been very fun to see. That match with Yoshihiko is still one of my favorite matches of his ever, and that's just all him character work. And I'm glad to see him progressing as this way. And like you said, I think he's just even on Impact, I think he needs to get a run with the X Division title. Like, he's up there. Like, he needs to be spotlighted a lot more wherever he goes, because he does not miss. He's like, I want to say he's like Mellow. Hey, like he don't miss, and he's been awesome. And Zayn lately has been can't miss as well, and he's been delivering. And everything you said on the uniqueness and the creativity of both shine through, and a bigger stage would be awesome to see them get that stage.
Yeah, Mike always delivers. He's one of my choices for a GCW face champion. I think that even with his size, some people go, oh, that's that guy who, huh? And then when you see Bailey just piece somebody up, you go, oh shit, yeah, that's our champion. I think he'd do great with kids. Overall, I think everyone likes him and they want to like him. His music's catchy. Everybody loves the Beastie Boys. So, hey, our winner was Alex Zane. Love it.
Yeah, great match. All right, sixth match of the evening was a tag match as Deathmatch Royalty. Broski Jimmy, Matt Cardona, and Steph DeLander go against Dan the Dad, KLD, and Shaza McKenzie. I love the promo Jimmy did at the beginning, like talking about KLD, like I'm even more popular than KLD, and then Jimmy was like, I don't think that's true. Like, wait a minute. I don't think that's true. I love Jimmy in this role. This one, kind of more character work from Jimmy even's been awesome to see. And further along their story, which I'm happy to see. I am interested. I see Cardona kind of complaining a little bit more of Collective not being booked on Joey Janela's spring break. I wonder what they do have kind of planned for him heading into there. That's kind of, I think they're leaning towards Jimmy, especially in Philly. I think that'd be perfect for him. But I like how he's kind of keep on teasing, like, what's for me? And that's just going to be a perfect pop moment, hopefully, for Jimmy.
Well, we could have Janela take the belt from Blake, and then Janela carries it into spring break, and Cardona tries to take it from there, and we have a spring break moment. That's one idea. I know that's a lot of moving parts, but that jostles the brain for a minute, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah, I think spring break just in general is going to be crazy. They got so much going on at spring break. Like, it's going to be insane. Like, I'm actually way looking forward to this more than last year, even though last year I knew I was kind of going to see the East West Express win the tag titles. But I just think all the craziness, like, this is Joey Janela going back to old clusterfucks and old Joey Janela spring break 1 and 2. And I'm excited for spring break. It's going to be fun.
So checking in my notes here, I have that Matt and Steph DeLander had Jimmy repeating mean things on the microphone. I don't know if you saw, he was kind of like whispering into Jimmy's ear and he's saying whatever.
Yep.
And then, you know, he kind of gets messed with by the crowd for a minute. He says, everyone can kiss his ass. Optimal crowd work here. The fans and Cardona were working really well together in this match. KLD, that's my boy. I love seeing him. He seems to really have one hell of a fan base. GCW, when is that Haas Rumble coming? Because we've got the meat. Broski Jimmy covered Matt to avoid him being hurt towards the end of this match. We are seeing a slow evolution in Jimmy. When are we going to get that tan?
That's what I was kind of waiting for. Just him to show up, just orange as shit, ready to wrestle. That's going to be fun. He's going to be all sticky. Like, he's
oh,
looking
yeah.
at himself like, what do I do?
Right.
Yeah,
I'm in.
I liked it. What do you think about Cardona kissing KLD's ass?
You know, I mean, people want to see the bad guy eat shit, and that's almost what happened here if he was about 12 more inches lower.
Jeez. I think that's just crazy of Cardona. Like, I'm just going off name value here. I'm not saying talent-wise or anything, but name value. Cardona, like, kind of kissing KLD's ass was... I think that just shows, and I just saw a clip the other day, too, of Cardona talking about GCW and how much, like, he's kind of, like... Yeah, he did what he's always bitching about, people coming in and using it as clout and then leaving. But he's actually, like how he said, he stayed. It's his home. Like, that was kind of shocking, him saying, like, GCW's home. But I love, like, how he's that big of a name and he don't mind kissing and putting over KLD. Like, he's doing awesome work on the indies. I think that gets overlooked. Everyone just looks at, like, what he's doing. But I think he's given back so fucking much. It's been awesome to see. And this moment was, like, one of the eye-openers to me just because, like, that he's kissing, like, not a nobody, but like a kind of a nobody in the wrestling scene after compared to Cardona's name, and he's kissing his ass. But like, he's making KLD look good, and I'm glad KLD got that moment, and I hope he like sits there and takes off with it and uses that as like promo bait towards other wrestlers because I think KLD's going to do some fun stuff too. It was nice seeing him back in GCW.
Yeah, there's a lot of performers out there that if they could just sit down with Cardona for 2 hours could learn so much. And he's putting on free seminars all the time to help people out. Effie, one of the big ones, he says without a doubt, he's had all kinds of help professionally from Cardona and helping to make sure that he, I'm not going to put words in his mouth, but I'm sure he gets some more signings when he's in a local territory, or he was pushed to maybe have Bendy's figures, things like that. I think that's a better usage of your time and your brand and your product. So that's a huge thing. Also, we don't talk about it too much because she's taken the ball and ran with it so well. Look what he has done to help Steph DeLander really find herself as a performer. I mean, really has done wonders for her.
Yeah, like I loved how she's kind of, well, like first shedded those we want Chelsea or Chelsea's better. Like I thought that was going to be a tough road for her to overcome, but she's definitely stepped up. Yeah, Cardona's definitely helped with her too, but I think she stepped up perfectly in that role. We kind of talked about that earlier when we first saw her showing up. We're like, holy shit. I think you were the one that said that's Sherry Martel. And it's like, that is absolutely perfect. And she's fit that role. She's excelled in it. And I'm glad to see her kind of further along her work too. I want to see more though, her in ring. Like I know we get little pieces here and there, but I want to see how much like she's improved in ring. Cause I know that obviously that's kind of, she wants to be a wrestler, not just a manager, but probably just enjoying the time right now, learning off Cardona and making lots of money and making the towns. It's got to be a good gig there.
You know, with as much as a heel as she is,
go ahead.
I was just saying, for as much as a heel as she is, I'd like to see Allie go at it with Steph DeLander. Like there are some matchups here with the females that I would love to see go down. Just because, I mean, she's entrenched in GCW. You know, if you're on the playground, you got to play ball. So you know, she does work out the next night there with someone. So I forgot to mention here, our tag team winners in this one was Deathmatch Royalty. Sorry about that, bud. Didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, you're good. I forgot what I was going to say anyway. It wasn't that important.
I think you were talking about somebody
right.
was mentioning in chat something here. Is that what you were saying? Oh, I thought, okay.
Oh, they were talking about that's what it was, the vignettes to kind of further along back in January. I don't know. I think what they kind of 4 months in indies, independent wrestling is kind of a long time to keep that going. But I mean, they got something big going on with Jimmy. I'll be happy to see that payoff for Jimmy.
Something's coming of it, because I'm even seeing his person. I'm laughing at what Alan was saying in chat. We have fun people in chat sometimes, so you always kind of have to. So I didn't say. I'm just saying I'm seeing what's there. I'm just laughing because it is our colorful fans. I love each and every one of them. Yeah. What else can we really say about this? I don't know if there's really too much really to say. I love seeing Dan the Dad. He's one of my favorites. Always welcome back, Shaza. So, I mean, it was a great team overall.
Yeah, and I think that was a kind of a perfect trio to kind of further that storyline along and kind of have the match that they did. It was kind of didn't need to be no technical masterpiece. It was a fun comedic match, and I enjoyed it for what it was. All right, our 7th matchup of the evening was for the JCW title match as Eric Cannon challenges Masha Slamovich. It was a good match. Good title defense from Masha. I still kind of want to see a little bit more what's going to happen with this title run. I know it's kind of early still. Eric Cannon getting the title match. I guess I don't mind it since they don't really have any plans going on for the JCW title anyway. But yeah, he looked pretty good coming back. I said coming back. I know we talked about this before. I could have swear like he took like all this time off of wrestling, but going on the cage match, it seems like he has been wrestling nonstop. So I don't know where I got from. I have a feeling I just haven't seen him in a while. Maybe I don't know, but it was nice to see Eric Cannon, and he looked good against Masha.
You know, I know there was Billy Rock from the next show after this that was somebody that was returning, but I don't know. I felt like there was a story behind Eric Cannon. I do know that he had some promos, at least one that he cut online that I saw on Twitter. So kudos to an independent wrestler who's out there cutting promos. Thank you. Yeah, Masha Slamovich, you know, she's a hardworking defending champion. I do like that about her being the new JCW champion. We talked about this before. I am curious to see what she brings to this JCW championship run that she didn't bring to the GCW championship run. And like I said, I know she's a hard worker. She constantly defends. Maybe her defense with the GCW was so well done that they wanted to elevate the title by using her on the JCW. I'm not sure yet, and it's just speculation. But yeah, I mean, that's really what I wanted to talk about in this match was really Masha Slamovich. This was Eric was semi-local. He did a decent job, but yeah, Masha Slamovich here was really my focus. I wasn't huge on her a year ago, and then a couple months after that, she won me over, and ever since then, I'm really trying to be a big follower of hers because now that I see what she's capable of and what she's doing at other companies, she has a momentum behind her that not a lot of other women wrestlers have right now. So I want to really ride that wave as much as possible and try to enjoy it.
Cass, I think, here is correcting us here. He runs First Wrestling and very active. Yeah, I don't know where I got that from Eric Cannon. I don't know. But I've seen so many promos and wrestling stuff. Maybe I just got him confused, but it has feel like I haven't seen him in a while, almost anywhere. So he had a nice, good match against Masha. And yeah, Masha, I agree. She's been killing it everywhere she's going, having good matches. And I just want to see a little bit more from this title run and hopefully see a lot of some differences than what we saw previously. All right. And to our next matchup, which was for the GCW World Title, as John Wayne Murdoch challenged Blake Christian. And I loved Dave Frazek mentioning how this might be a little different match for Blake here if it goes anything like John Wayne Murdoch wanted. And he started it off like that, just chucking the chair at him. I loved it. I loved the commentary, like, pin him now. Like, what are you waiting for? Like, the urgency was just awesome to see because, yeah, Blake sold that stuff pretty well and just ate it. But this was a good match. I was kind of concerned with Blake going into this, but John Wayne's always good without any extremeness or any fuckery around for him to use. And I think he showed a different kind of style with this match in Blake Christian. And yeah, Blake's gonna be held to this title, it seems like, for a while.
Last weekend's show, I didn't see Shane Mercer with Blake, and I went, oh no, please tell me that didn't go away, because we were talking and we agreed. A lot of us, fans and everyone, were saying, we're so happy to see Shane Mercer come into the Blake Christian story, because it's going to add a new dimension now to Blake Christian, because we felt like we'd seen most of what he had to offer. And now this will hopefully give him a new set of tools in his toolbox to work with. John Wayne Murdoch, I'm a big fan of his, always liked the guy. He is a different monster as a wrestler, and I love him for it. I liked how Shane Mercer and Reed Bentley did have some interactions outside the ring. I'm a big fan of sometimes having people outside the ring. If it's functional, it makes sense, and it adds to a layer of excitement somewhere. I feel like they really made themselves necessary in that category. A 10.5-minute match, but here we are again. Our GCW World Champion comes out ahead, Blake Christian.
John Wayne Murdoch too, on Twitter, like right before, a couple days before, something like that. I know he tweeted out like, I'm bringing my own backup for Blake, which I thought was kind of cool and smart for him to do that. I was like, I thought the same thing. I'm like, oh, good, we're going to get Mercer back, because yeah, that was kind of a little, like, I always get scared when I don't see a wrestler. I don't know why. Like, I just expect him to show up every show, but whenever they don't show up, especially like Mercer now being kind of put into this story with Blake, I want to see more of him and see what he's going to do. And he's definitely paying dividends so far as Blake's backup. I must have missed this match. Alan said today was announced Garbage Daddies versus Christian and Mercer. I didn't see that get announced. I was so busy at work.
Yeah, it was one of those ones that in the middle of the day it was released. Oh, it's going to be great. Also, that was Blake Christian's 37th straight title defense in a row. Hell yeah, bud. Get it.
Wow. Hey, we get an active champion. That's what we asked for. Definitely getting that.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right, next matchup was the team of Maki Death Kill, Maki Ito and Nick Gage going against Los Macizos, Ciclope and Medio Extremo. Nice to see Nick back and weekend back-to-back nights. Is always nice to see him back and active, and nice to see Maki Ito back from her injury as well. They just like are like the biggest fans for each other. I think like they're just each other's biggest fans. They just push each other to the limit. Like they're just cheering for each other. I love seeing Maki Ito back, and she looked very happy. And Macizos definitely stepped up the violence here and tried to get Maki Ito a little color, and that didn't go quite as planned. But I enjoyed this match. Los Macizos once again filling in any role that's asked for him. This match was a fun one.
I put down, because I didn't really know, I put that Maki Death Kill kind of came out, did the usual, do you want to see the pizza cutter? Here's the pizza cutter. You know what I mean? They kind of did. There's an act to it now. It's like, hey, do you want to see us do this? Here we do it. Do you want to see us this? Here we do, what got me was that at the end of this match, after they won, Gage announced that they're coming for the tag team titles. And like I said, that's 4 or 5 teams now that are challenging for that belt. I hope something comes of it, my friend, because a tag team tournament would certainly be beautiful.
Yeah, we've talked about all the fun tag teams, and it just seems like ever since we've talked about it, like every week there's like another one and another one and another one, and it's just awesome to see. And I'm glad the tag division's getting some love. It's nice to see them being represented well in GCW, and they always have been. Like I really felt that way, especially when they did the Art of War games with all those tag teams. I thought that was very cool of them putting the spotlight on the tag team wrestling, especially when the champ wasn't there defending all the time. I thought they should have done that. But even now with Blake defending 37 times already, we see the tag division keep on growing. We see Violence is Forever as the champions and killing it as a new talent in GCW last year. And yeah, Maki and Nick I saw someone said they should be added to the Punjabi prison match. And I was like, oh my God, could you imagine Nick being
hell
put in
yeah.
that match?
Yeah, that would be wow. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Maki Ito. Yeah, they were kind of doing their thing. Okay, I was trying to figure out if I was gonna say this or not. Something in that match that made me laugh was they brought the pizza cutters out and they started doing the we're gonna cut them on the forehead thing. And then when they threw Los Macizos, both of them down to the ground, you look and neither of them's foreheads are cut. Neither of them are bleeding. I'm like, oh no. So little things like that make me laugh, though. Fans, know, you know what I mean? That's just me seeing it because I've seen it so many times. But yeah, really fun time. Hope there's more. You know what? I'm going to go out here and tell you right now, because I had so much fun with it. I'd love to see another Bussy tag team title run because they fucking rocked it. Their title run, speaking of GCW supporting tag teams, their title run was impressive.
Yeah, I loved seeing all the new names that they faced defending those titles, like the main event and oh my God, all those teams, like they showcase a lot of new talent, local talent, but in tag team division, like that was awesome because the tag team and locals don't really get displayed as much as the singles, so it was nice during that run to see that. Alan goes, what if Violence is Forever retains in the Punjabi prison match? What happens next?
God. Okay. I'm going to ask, I want you to answer first, Brant, because you're fans of Violence is Forever. I want to know where a pro Violence is Forever fan would place this. And then I'll kind of go after you, if that's okay. Unless you want me to go first. I just have no thoughts.
I'll go.
Yet.
I don't want to see their title run end. I feel like it's still a lot to go, but I always kind of like, I view collective just like WrestleMania. So like, hey, it's the time to do the big blow offs and then get new champions or get new stories, finish it, and then now you can start new stuff. And I wouldn't mind actually if Violence is Forever lost and then even kind of showed more of a kind of a road to get the title back, because like they kind of just did get hot shotted right to the titles after like 4 or 5 matches. But now with all these teams, I think there's a lot more meat on those bones that they could do, not only as champions, but even as, like I said, building themselves up as challengers back up. And they said with the Fatus there, I think that'd be a chaotic tag team that would cause a lot of chaos and have a lot of fun matches as well in GCW with Zilla and Jacob. So that would be interesting as well. I think if Violence was Forever to lose, I wouldn't mind a new team like the Fatus being the one that take them off, just because of all the new matchups we could get. But if Violence is Forever retains, I think it just kind of gets in like, okay, now when, or who's next, or what's going to happen? Are they going to do a tournament to see who the next challenger is? I just feel like where do they go from there? I don't know. That's a tough question.
Yeah. Where do you go after the Punjabi prison match? You figure that would be the pinnacle, like maybe kind of interweave some stories and then go from there. But hey, I mean, if they're going to just bring it up there, I mean, I'm not going to complain about it. I'm with our listener here, Alan, too. The Fatus, I think, would be very good, hard-nosed, beefy tag team champions that I would love to see them go through some locals and just whoop them around a couple times. Like, I'm actually okay with that. That would be a team I think that I'm cool with. The Garbage Daddies, I think they need a little more time together. And I think it's almost like East West Express. It's almost like they need to go to Japan and tighten up. They just need time and time to tighten. And I think between the both of them, they're going to come up with some impressive shit. They have little sputters of it here and there where you can see that they had some time to think. If they're given more time to think, I think they're going to give us a team, and it's going to be feel good, just like the East West Express. It's going to be something, look who's coming out now. It's, we have a lot of heel champions right now. So they would be a welcome, sight at GCW for the fans right now.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of think the same thing. If they don't get signed for the bloodline stuff, I think they could win and would do some stuff. But if they do get signed, I think you kind of have to go Violence is Forever. I mean, you could go Bollywood Boys winning the Punjabi prison match, but then now they're going to show up more. And if they show up more, I'm fine with that. 'Cause I think they've been killing it in GCW, and they would have a lot of fun tag matches as well with all these teams. I wouldn't mind seeing them win as well. There's a lot of fun stuff that could happen in that tag division, man.
I like the Bollywood boys too, man. They fucking lit up LA. When they came out that first time when you and I were in LA there, dude, the fans just went nuts for them. And I don't know how much of that came across camera, but right there I was like, whoa, these are not the guys I watched in the WWE. Completely different monster at GCW, and I loved it.
And the pop that they got at the GCW show in Seattle Hall Washington Hall was crazy in Seattle. Like that was a pop that blew my mind. I mean, yeah, we were there for the Bollywood's pop, and we both said like that was a surprising pop, and their match delivered. They went extreme and went to be tossed around and everything. But yeah, they have been doing way better on the independent scenes, which is good to see. All right. Our next matchup of the evening was the main event in the St. Louis street fight as Mance Warner goes against the one called Manders. Glad to see Manders get a main event match.
Thank you.
Get a lot of time to tell a story. I didn't read your notes yet. I hope I didn't steal one. But holy shit, like that's what we've been asking for Manders to get pushed. This was kind of helped solidify too what we were kind of worried about what's going to happen with him as the story progresses or finishes, what's going to happen with him. And I think he played a very vital role. And I think he kind of showed that he shouldn't be pushed aside during this feud, that he should be pushed on the side of the feud as his own kind of building his own little niche and as a solo singles competitor outside of SGC. This was awesome to see him get this single spotlight match. And this was a bloody war that told a awesome story. Absolutely loved this match.
Okay, so to me, most of this was absolutely perfect. There was build up with promos. This was brother versus brother, pretty much. You have two gentlemen that are in a tag team, but we're really now seeing what their capabilities are in the single, let's say, match. I got right here the same thing you said, well-deserved main event. I wrote down that this is a must-watch match for fans. If there's going to be one on the card, this is probably going to be it. Great story told in ring with a brutal back and forth ending. I said here also that I think both men will keep this match close to their hearts for a long time. I believe that they could see this one easily as a success. And I hope that this is an indicator of what's to come, because like we said before, you and I, Brant, if we could just let the GCW regulars, the guys that are higher up the card, really fill the card with good matches, we'd be really surprised how far we could push GCW as a whole. So that's where I'm at right now. Mance Warner was our winner here. This whole Mance Warner FE Manders thing is so well done. And I know that it came from 2, maybe 3 brains. It's fantastic. And I just want to say as much as I can, what a great job they did putting this all together. And it's not over.
Yeah, that kind of goes. That's what I was going to bring up here. We got another good question here from Reed. Now that we're on Mance's story, what's next after his match with Effie this weekend? I don't like. You've had now 2 gimmick matches. I say gimmick, but like 2 street fight rules. Now you're gonna get the straps. You had I don't know. I just think the strap and where are they going to progress it to? When's it going to end? Like if this isn't the end with the strap match with them being locked together and having to fight it out, is it going to end at Collective? And if so, what next can they do? A steel cage match? I don't know. I just don't see if it doesn't end this weekend, but then I also don't want it to end this weekend because I think this should be a collective thing. But I like how Alan said, what if it now still kind of bleeds into they kind of separate between now and then kind of rekindle or get back to this feud during collective and have Effie cast Mance the title? Or didn't they do the ladder match, the grab the brass ring ladder match at last year's collective? Who's to say Effie, if they have that match again, Effie wins that. And Mance Warner wins and cashes his in, and then Effie double cashes in. Get 2 cashes in one night. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that could be done, but I don't see it ending after this. But then, like I said, I don't see how it's going to progress unless they totally ignore it for a month and get it off people's minds right before Collective, but I don't know how smart a move that is either, because this is also the biggest storyline in GCW.
I would hope it doesn't end yet, basically on the pure fact that Mance is red hot right now. That's what a menacing heel should be. He's coming in there, he's fucking things up. He has to get pushed out by a squad of 4 or plus. I mean, anytime you got your back turned to that dog, he's running towards you to bite you. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I really hope it doesn't end just yet. And I feel between the creativity of Effie and Mance, there's a lot more to go. And I'm with you, Brant. I'm hoping it doesn't end anytime soon, but the collective would be a good spot for it. But like, Mance is finding himself in this character, and it's good. I like it a lot.
I think they're both like at a point right now. I don't want to see either one of them lose. I think they're both doing such great stuff where like,
yeah.
Whoever loses, I can see it's going to be a battle, but like Mance is red hot right now. I don't see him losing anytime soon. And he's just going to keep his momentum going. He's found his character, his Cardona-like character now. He's going to start building on. And Effie's just continuing going and going and going as he always does. And he's even hotter as hell right now. Like, I kind of don't, if Manser does win, I don't want it to be a short reign. I want to see the build up with Effie, but then like I said, I just don't know. I want to see it built, but where they go from after a strap match is very interested to see, because I don't know how long they could keep it going if they do these big gimmick matches so early in the feud.
Yeah, we'll find out. That's an interest. Hey, oh, dude, Reed is Alex. What's up, Alex? Okay, I know exactly who that is now. How you doing, dude? Okay, so now it's all breaking down here. I know the names. He said government name. Yeah. So, boy, there's still so much meat in that sandwich left. That's what I kind of want to say about that. I don't know where it's going to go from there, but like, I still don't think Manders and Mance are done entirely. I think this could end in, Mance has a change of heart and it's going to take this many friends to save him from being this. You never know. But separating all of them right now would stink, because they seem to have a nice chemistry. And I don't want to take that away, because when it comes to promos and story and, like I said before, like meat on the bone throughout the week until the next show, they're giving it to us. All you have to do is follow their Twitter and you're going to see, man, they're cutting promos on each other and all kinds of fun stuff. You just got to look for it.
Yeah. They delivered one hell of a main event this night. Yeah, there's a lot. We see a lot of stuff could go on with Mance and Cardona, even with Steph being involved. Someone brought up a return in justice to reform SGC. That's always a thought that we kind of always hope for.
I hope. I don't think so.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I don't think so, but I really do hope so. They're a fantastic squad together. And like I said before, Mance was that high jump highlight that you would see from Monday through Wednesday throughout the week. That was the GCW hype, was watching who the hell fell from the second story balcony. We have Mr. Danger doing that right now, but that doesn't replace Justice also. So I just want to say he is missed. And that's all I know. I'd like to see him again, but we'll see.
All right. Well, that was Project GCW. Great Friday night show. It was good start to the weekend, and that led us into GCW's Keep in Touch the next night from Indianapolis, Indiana at the Marriott East. It was nice to see him back in Indiana again. And our first match was another hot start to the night, as it was for the GCW tag titles, as the Garbage Daddies go against and challenge Violence is Forever. And yeah, I was interested to see how this match, obviously with the night prior, them losing, how it would kind of play into it, but they didn't really make too much mention of it, which I guess is very smart of it. Mm-hmm. But I loved just seeing the Garbage Daddy even getting that opportunity. And I'm glad they did take the L, but they looked really good in that L, where it's kind of like, you see like a football team or basketball team in the playoffs, like for the first time, they're on a momentum, and then they lose early, but like they need that loss to like now they know what they need to fix and gather up and get that experience. So I don't mind them taking the L. As Alan said earlier too, like that them taking the L the night prior too was to further along Effie's story, but this was a good match, and Violence is Forever just absolutely destroyed the shit out of Cole during this match.
Yeah, he did. Alec and Cole, like I said before, they have a great thing going. I really found it interesting that they went for a title opportunity so quick, but with these guys, again, they're fan favorites. We'll take it. You know, that's the start of a good build, would be the fact that they've taken a loss to the champions and they have to come from the bottom all the way back up again. Not going to complain if we have to see them more. Violence is Forever still got the work done here. Towards the end of this match, fans said something that Koo heard, and he did not like it at all. And you know how it is, Brant. We have a good, nice network of fans to where if we ask what the hell went on, somebody's going to get on and tell us. He said something, and the person was, I believe, escorted from the building. So somebody probably said something that GCW people like us don't like. And that's what, there's the door, brother. So it happened. Violence is Forever are still our winners. They retained in a 10.5-minute match. Garbage Daddies, come back again, brother. We want to see it again.
That's crazy hearing that story on Kevin Koo, because like I've seen Kevin and Dominic like when they're in their street clothes and like, yeah, they don't look anything menacing, but like when they turn on that Violence is Forever, like holy shit, like why would you even say anything to Kevin after he's in there kicking Alec and Cole like that? But yeah, there's always going to be idiot fans. And like I saw Dave Meltzer was even talking about one somewhere, I think it was at the AEW show or one other show that would just happen too, that they were talking about racist fans. Like unfortunately that's going to happen, but thank God it sounded like it was taken care of and good, because that sounds like the GCW, the way that it goes, because as you said, it's one big family. They do take care of each other. But another successful title defense. Yeah. Another successful title defense for Violence is Forever, and we will see what happens heading into this Punjabi prison match. Next matchup, I was happy to see two returning people. Well, not return. We've seen Bishop a little bit more often, but Joshua Bishop going against Braden Lee. And yeah, I don't want to mean to steal your note there, but I was happy to see Braden. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen him, and looked like he didn't miss a step. And I actually think like both of them killed it in their role. Like this was actually a way better match than I seen it. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be just a filler match, but no, like they actually delivered. And Braden Lee looked really good coming back, and Joshua Bishop is like just beat the shit out of Braden, but Braden just sold it and made it look so good. And I think for the short amount of time that they were given, this delivered. And I think this was like a JCW match to me. Like this is what I want to see on JCW, but they stepped up and delivered in GCW here, and this is like the talent I want to see fighting for that JCW title. People that we've seen in GCW before in JCW, those are the people. These are the people I want to see challenging for the belt. No offense to Eric Cannon, not him. Like, sorry, we don't see him in GCW often. Like, I want to see names that we've seen before, and these two, especially Bishop, will be a great challenger for the JCW title.
Bishop just needs a little more exposure on the GCW television brand instead of the JCW brand. But I know he may not have been a favorite, but if you wanted a heel to be dominant in JCW, he would have been a good choice for the JCW championship belt. However, I'm starting to think about this. If they would have put it on someone like Joshua, that JCW would have stayed in JCW. But giving it to Masha or a GCW regular kind of keeps and elevates that title. Smart. Common sense, too.
Yeah,
I don't know what
Bishop wouldn't be. And Bishop wouldn't be traveling like how Jordan was and representing that belt and defending it all over the place. No offense. Like he's not, I don't see him traveling quite often, even within the United States, let alone outside, like how Jordan was and how Masha probably will defend it. I'm interested to see if that belt gets defended, not on this Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling show, but like on an actual in Japan Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling show. That would be solidify why you make her the champion at that point. Then you're taking that belt and it's being defended on a giant stage over there. Then I'm absolutely cool with her winning the champion, as we kind of talked about couple episodes ago when during the J Cup with her winning the belt. I think that would be good. But yeah, that was a good point on you with Bishop. It would kind of just be in JCW, not really in GCW quite as often.
Right. So that would probably diminish the importance just a touch. And then now the belt's stuck there. So what happens then is someone may be fantastic and take the belt next. And they're like, well, that's a waste of the belt. It's a JCW belt. Why is this person out there breaking their back for blah, 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 blah. I still say that the first choice for champion Jordan Oliver was the best choice for a JCW champion. He really did everything an individual could do with it. So that's again why I'm looking forward to seeing what Masha does, because again, she works her ass off at GCW. But yeah, Joshua Bishop, a little more time up top and maybe a couple more squash matches, and I think people would be sold on him just a little more. He's Sid Justice to me. You know, he just looks like it's the ramen noodle hair and everything. It's Sid Justice, bro. I'm waiting for the roid rage. That's all I'm waiting for. But I like him. I love the dude.
Yeah, I was glad to see this matchup, and they both delivered. And like I said, I think this was to me, a surprisingly more entertaining match than I expected. And I'm glad, because I do like both competitors. Our next matchup of the evening was good.
No, I was going to say, I don't know if I mentioned who the winner was in that one or not, because I was just being a dumbass. Anyway, our winner in this one was Joshua Bishop. Sorry about that, bud.
Here we go. Myron Reed in the third matchup goes against Jack Cartwheel, another two favorites of ours and mine. And once again, as I was saying about Oni El Bandito, how later on this night he kind of oh my God, I can't even gather my words together.
It's late.
Regains what he kind of lost the night before. Yeah, I know. It's a late night GCW show, as we were saying. He gets a chance to recover from the night before, and Myron and Jack Cartwheel was awesome. Once again, their unique movesets meshed well together, and Myron was a perfect bounce back from the night prior. That's the word I was looking for, was bounce back. But Jack Cartwheel, Cartwheel's like in this match with Myron, like Jack is still improving too, and like I'm glad to still see him and other companies killing it, and Ring of Honor and out in Mexico still too. So yeah, this was a good match for Myron Reed and a good bounce back from the night before.
So this match automatically picked up the pace of the show. Nonstop action the whole time. We kind of knew that was coming. Cartwheel was in smoochy gear. I don't know if anybody noticed, but there was like lips all over his shit. And I was just thinking, and well, of course my wife said it, but if you put little wings on his back, he'd look like a Cupid. It's the blonde hair and the, okay, anyway, this is why I shouldn't write down the dumb shit we all think. But yeah, for some reason, if you look at it, you could see, you put wings on him, he looks like a Cupid. Anyway.
I could see it. The curly hair you said was perfect.
Yeah, I've got problems. Our winner in this one was Myron Reed, an 11.5-minute match. I could have used a couple more minutes, and I'm so happy we got the real Myron Reed this match versus the night before.
Yeah, same here. Delivering. Yeah, I'm always anytime Myron Reed can get on my screen, I want more. I want to see more of him, and I still think he could do some stuff too. Even him being a JCW, being in that scene, if he's going to be sticking with GCW in a while, he'd be a good fit, I think, as well.
Big fan.
Next matchup of GCW's Keep in Touch was a battle of the Billies, as we had Billy Starks against Billy Rock. Nice seeing Billy Rock again since his last match with Mance Warner. This match against another person that he trained, Billy Starks, and the Billy versus Billy matchup was fun. I'd like to see this match for Billy Starks to kind of get the matchup with one of her trainers on GCW. And the big takeaway with this is maybe I just haven't noticed it, and maybe it's not new, but Billy Starks was actually used a new submission finisher there. I didn't catch the name of it, but I enjoyed the submission move that she had Billy at the end. I didn't catch the name of it, but I don't think I've ever seen her use it either. But it was impressive. It adds another style to her that I always kind of picture her as just a more like methodical and every once in a while high flying stuff, but not like really submission holds. And seeing another style of her game coming breaking out. It was awesome to see.
I'll say it just as a critique because we're talking about it. I don't feel like she's miscomfortable on the top rope anyway. So having a ground-based submission, I think, really works for someone like her. And having some type of a ground-based submission that you can just break into at any time makes you instantly deadly when you lock it in. So hopefully she has that. I know I've said this now twice or 3 times. She has that tool in her toolbox now. And I think that adds, just another dimension to her character. So I'm looking forward to seeing what she does with that. I'm going to go back and watch because I don't know how much I caught of that. I should have seen that. That's funny. Billy Rock is our local here. You're right, though. We did see him not too long ago up against Manser. Billy Starks almost broke her tailbone on a bump to the outside of the ring. I don't know if you had a chance to see that, Brant, but it hurt her. It hurt her a little bit. Anybody who's, you don't, but if you're fat ass like me, if you fall on your tailbone, bro, you're hurting for days. You're hurting for freaking days. And you could look on her face and be like, okay, she hurt herself a little there. The bump just didn't look good.
Oh yeah.
She still won.
Yeah. We've seen a couple times with her. Yeah. That submission was kind of like looked like the oh my god, the chicken wing. It was kind of like a seated chicken wing, but then also like when she torqued back on it, it was interesting. I never seen that from her, and I'm glad to see her, as Reed said,
and it was engaged from the back.
Been improving.
So it was a chicken wing, and then
first
she
it looked like she was going for the full Nelson. Yeah, she did the half Nelson, then the chicken wing, and then sat down, and Billy was on his knees, and then she leaned back and torqued back on it, and it was impressive. I enjoyed it. And as I was saying with Billy, we kind of seen her though when she gets hurt or takes some of these bad bumps, we kind of see the wince on her face, or you could tell something's not quite right there. And yeah, I got a little scared there too. And anytime I see now her or Jack, or especially just her, because she's such a focal point of Ring of Honor right now. Every time I see her kind of wince like that on GCW, I'm like, oh, please don't get hurt on GCW. Why not see any AEW talent for a while here? Like what they did with Moxley. But luckily she was fine, healthy enough, and good enough to pick up the victory over Billy Rock.
And I'll stop right there because I want to say something to Alan. He said, Bishop is someone you put the belt on for a short reign. You know what else I call Bishop is the face maker. He is somebody that if you had a face, you'd want him to fight and beat Bishop because he just looks so damn mean, so large. He's just imposing. He wouldn't even have to have a belt. If no one knew him when he walked towards the ring, they'd go, that's a bad son of a bitch right there. So beating him would look damn good. People like Bishop, yeah, I call face makers. I don't even know if that's a real thing.
Yeah, and he made Braden look really good. When he sells, he does sell. Sells his ass off to make it look good. So yeah, I can see a short reign for Bishop. All right, our next match was a 6-person tag match, as it was a team of Los Macizos teaming with Oni El Bendito going against the team of the Young Dragons, Ace Perry, Josh Crane, and Trip Cassidy. As I said earlier, yes, this was a bounce back for Bandito, and I think teaming with the Macizos was perfect because then we've talked about it before, the language barrier, and I don't even know if there is a language barrier with Bandito. I'm just assuming. When I was watching that Maya Reed match, it seemed there was something even maybe verb.
Oh, I think you just went mute there for a second, bud. You might have hit something. That's okay. While he's fixing that real quick, I'm going to just put in here real quick. I mentioned before these masks. I hear you now, brother. I mentioned before these masks, dude. There's one mask that Bandito had. I think it was the second time he was on. A beautiful leather GCW sort of mask, red and white. It was beautiful. Also, Trip Cassidy's debut tonight. And welcome back, Ace and Josh. I love watching those two. So back to you, Brent.
No, you're good. I unplugged myself there, talking with my hands.
You got all
I think him teaming
excited.
Yeah, teaming with it's Los Macizos. I definitely get excited talking about Los Macizos. No, I think him teaming with them was perfect. I think maybe if there was any language barrier, maybe the night before, the Los Macizos kind of helped settle it if there was during this match, because this was El Bendito I've been wanting been enjoying seeing and that I expected to see. And yeah, nice bounce back match from him. Yeah, the Young Dragons. I don't know. I kind of feel the opposite. Like I don't know. I didn't feel anything towards them. They just absolutely felt like a local team, even though we've seen Ace Perry, Josh Crane before. I don't think I've seen Trip Cassidy before, but as you said, that was a debut, so that explains that. I don't know. I would need to see a lot more of them to kind of get it. But like when I was watching this match, I'm like, oh, they're getting tossed to the wolves here with but they held their own. They very well held their own, and they did impress me more than I expected. But I need to see a little bit more of them before I want to see them all the time on GCW.
I follow Josh Crane all the time on Twitter. He has a lot of interesting stuff going on his page. So he was one I was just happy to see in a GCW ring. And kind of to back up what I was saying there, putting Oni El Bandito with a couple other people and kind of mixing him in kind of helps take away any glaring issues or whatnot. And I don't know. It just made Oni look more functional. And then when something did come out impressive, it was just a huge pop. So yeah, I can't wait to see more Oni once Oni gets everything up to where Oni would like it.
Our sixth matchup of the evening was Steph DeLander going against Sawyer Wreck. I kind of like how this had a little playoff of the night before of Manson Manders. Now the girlfriends are going at it and fighting against each other. So I enjoyed seeing that part of that kind of story. But yeah, I don't know. Wasn't given a lot of time. This is what I was kind of talking about. I still want to see a little bit more from SDL, given a little bit more time to see her improvement in the ring and stuff. And Sawyer Wreck, I guess this was a good match for her too. A nice short match with SDL. So I just wanted to see a little bit more from each competitor just to give more time. But other than that, it was a good match. And yeah, Sawyer Wreck does pick up the victory. Sorry, I stole your ending there. You always say the victory.
No, you're all right, because half of them I haven't been announcing tonight. I put here that Sawyer took SDL to school. It was a quick 5 minutes. Wouldn't it have been fun if Cardona was out there in SDL's side and then you had Sawyer Wreck over there? And well, yeah, we could have had a couple. No, because Steph DeLander's not a couple. I'm tripping on my shit right now. Sawyer Wreck come out with Manders, Steph DeLander come out with Cardona, and let them kind of screw around on the outside of the ring, because they're so entertaining. I mean, hey, so.
All right.
Sorry,
yeah,
dead air from me
already,
there.
so I don't know why I'm waiting for you to say that. No,
You're good, brother.
for you to say it, even though I was already one who said it. Yeah, Sawyer Wreck does pick up the victory, and yeah, it was a good match. Next match was another interesting one. I was very much looking forward to. I think I was looking forward to Alex Zane all weekend. I think that's all I was. Just wanted to see a bunch of Alex Zane. Alex Zane goes against Calvin Tankman. I loved how this match, they switched roles. Tankman was doing the flippy shit, and Zane was doing the strength and showing off, lifting up Tankman over his shoulders. Like, I just enjoyed how they switched roles, and they both kind of excelled doing it, because we've seen a little bit of Tankman do some flippy shit in scrambles, and we've seen Alex Zane kind of show off his strength, but not against someone like Tankman size. So that was kind of shocking and surprising to see. I now wanted to go get another Burrito Supreme to see if that helps me get stronger like Alex Zane. Throw a couple of extra hot sauces on it. That was just my excuse to go get Taco Bell that night. But
yeah, that's a good one.
Anyway,
I like
that was just a big note I had. Like I enjoyed the match. It was good, competitive, back and forth. They both delivered. This match was exciting, just like how I expected it. But I think them switching the roles kind of like popped me and made me think like, holy shit, like how was Alex Zane first able to lift Tankman? Then when Tankman did the fucking Poison Rana, I fucking like, that's it. This match is over. It's gotta end now. Yeah, and I want to do shout out Alan, because I thought that was a cool thing too. Calvin Tankman being acknowledged as the DPW champ was awesome. That's another company that I've been I stopped to like even subscribing to, because they've been doing some really good stuff too. And I'm glad that they acknowledge Tankman's accomplishments outside of GCW.
I wish more companies would work nicely with each other in that way, because if you're going to book a person on a show and they're an active 3-belt champion right now. I mean, come on, man. Like your fans are going to see this wrestler walk out, drape them belts on him. Don't be like, oh, we don't want to show this company on our whatever that. Come on, really? Get past the ego. You paid good money for that performer to come out. Why the hell are you going to take off their jewelry? Wow, that was actually, hey, there we go.
It gets the fans more invested too. It's like, oh, like this person's wearing a belt. They must be very good, especially for somebody who's never seen this wrestler before. Like they see a wrestler coming out with the belt, and their first thought is, okay, they must be good. They're a champion and are trusted by some people. That gets their expectations up, gets them invested, and like I think it is a good thing. I get why the bigger companies don't, but on the independent scene, I don't think it matters, especially as like Alan said, all these companies collab with each other, and like, yes, they do their own separate storylines with the same wrestlers, and that's fine. You can keep that separated. But I think like when the belts, especially in a situation like this, or when we get some other champions from other companies, it's not going to hurt GCW promoting New Japan, the War Dogs as the tag champions or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do wish we get to see a little bit more of that from other companies, as not just GCW.
Well, I was a big fan of that crossover with GCW and Defy. So I would like even domestically to see GCW kind of do some more work with some of these other companies out there. They have Tremont on all the time. What's wrong with having GCW versus H2O deathmatch tournament? No shit. 8 of theirs, 8 of ours.
Got a venue.
Run it, brother. Yeah. I mean, these are things that I think about where I'm like, damn, they're bringing GCW is bringing some fantastic talent from other countries all the time. But there are still some domestic talents here I do want to see. I say it before, I'll say it again. At some point, I would love to see Cruel over here. Anytime I can see Tremont is great. I just, the Carver, I think, is back at it now. That's another one that I'd like to see at least have a chance to come over in the more recent times and just maybe give their hand at entertaining the fans. But in this Calvin Tankman and Alex Zane match, because I went way too far out for a second there, microphone Tankman, if someone can, he talks mad shit in the ring and it's entertaining as hell. And if you listen really close, you can hear some of it, but you can always hear the fans like laughing or talking back. Like, Effie does the same thing. And I was going to put it in my notes for this show. Like, you need to start maybe turning up the microphone just a little more on some of these performers, because same thing. Effie does some fun shit. And if you don't hear it, I mean, you're going to miss it. And, these are intelligent performers that are able to just think of fun shit on the fly and they just roll with it. And it's part of the show. So I just wanted to give him credit though, because
I'm glad you,
what's that?
I'm glad you said just real fast, like Tankman is quick on his feet with some of his stuff that he says. Yeah, I've heard him on some of these shows, but also like in live and in-person shows. That Vegas weekend, like he was talking, like he just talks, but like have a mic'd up segment with him and Tony Deppen, and like I forgot the other person you said that talks a lot, but yeah, that'd be so interesting just to hear them talk a little bit more, because Tankman's so quick on his feet. But I think that adds to his character as like this cocky badass that's going to talk shit during the ring. It's like, what are you going to do about it, fans? Like, look at my size. Like, he is perfect in his role, and I would love to hear him mic'd up just to hear some of the shit he says to fans during the matches.
And he can cut a promo. So, I mean, he's becoming a more complete performer overall. You know what? It's kind of funny. I wrote it here. I'm going to give you full credit because you said it first, but you did pick up on what I was picking up on in the match, which was Calvin and Zane switched roles. We still had muscle and mass versus speed and agility. It was just different. And, fresh. Fresh is a good word to put here. Our winner was Calvin Tankman. This thing went 13 minutes. I felt like it was 6 or 7. So again, here we are, another banger. Local Calvin Tankman whooping ass.
See, I felt the opposite.
What's that?
I thought it felt longer, but in a good way. Like, I thought it felt like 15, 16 minutes, but like in a good, like they told a good story there. Like I loved how like they did the struggle at the beginning. Like they got the tease of Alex Zane's going to try to pick up Tankman. Tankman's going to try to do this flippy shit. It ain't going to happen. And then when it did happen later in the match, it was such a well laid out match. I enjoyed this match tremendously. And as Alan and Reed are kind of saying, like that spot with Zane lifting up Tankman was the kind of the spot of the night for me. All right, our next match is, oh my God, I lost myself. There we go. Blake Christian defending the GCW world title against Eric Cannon. And yeah, not much to say other than kind of what I said during the monster match. Eric looked good in the ring. Another good defense from Blake. I still just want to see other better names, more of a challenge, and who's going to fight him. But for what it was a good match. And actually, this was a better match, I think, with Eric than the one with Masha. I think he just kind of like more found his. He just looked good. He looked a lot cleaner and smoother with Blake than he did with Masha. And I was glad to see this Eric Cannon this night than I did the night prior. And good. It was a good match. And yep, Blake Christian. I no offense to him, but I think he just deserves something bigger. And hopefully we'll get something big here soon.
I'm not going to dig too deep into it, but you've had training, Brant. I've had minimal. You do wrestle and act. Your performance is different with a female. I wonder if we've seen this with Nate Webb. The adjustment to working with a female who can be smaller than you can somewhat be an adjustment. And maybe, just maybe, Eric was thrown off 10% of his regular game because he's trying to adjust. How hard do I work with her? You know, how much do I do this? How much do I do that? And that can throw a performer off. No lie. You know that.
Do you think Masha is telling them to hold it back? Because I think she's probably takes one of the most. She takes some brutal ass whoopings. Like, I don't think they hold it back on her at all.
No. I'm just saying. Have you ever had to deliver a chop to a female or like one of the female wrestlers? Like, you're programmed to not hurt female wrestlers. I'm not saying that this is. I'm sure Eric has worked with tons of female. I'm just saying. Sometimes you're uneasy at first until you can get how to work the 135 pounds she is versus 200.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to explain, but without going into more bullshit.
We did have a lady at art when I was training, like she was like bigger than me. So like she was taller and bigger than me. So it wasn't like she wasn't like, oh, well then like I had to take it easy or anything. It was like it was like you said, I don't have that thing because the person wasn't smaller than me. Like I never really worked. I was always the smallest one actually in the rest of the class. So I was not working with anyone too much smaller than me. I did work with a kid, but like a teenage kid. That was completely different. Like I
have a feeling I know who you're talking about.
No,
Eric
it actually wasn't that one. It was a different one.
Oh, okay. How I would put this here is we have another champ versus a local. Yeah, Eric was fresh off of a loss to Masha for the JCW title, so naturally he was going to get a shot at the GCW title. I'll let that hang. It was good overall. I know that's something you were kind of mentioning, though, Brant, was that in 2 nights, he's getting, next try. And I mean, this must have been the Eric Cannon weekend kind of thing. They're probably giving him his due. Maybe he's the big guy in the area. I don't know as much, and I'm embarrassed to say it, but I'd rather be honest and say it was very interesting to see him get 2 shots back to back. And yeah. So.
And here's my thing. It could have been that position for the title matches. Like he could have had a match against Tony Deppen, a match against a GCW, anyone else that from GCW didn't have to be a title match. I am fine with it. This is why I'm mad because we're going into the collective. I feel like I did this speech last year during the collective, but we're going into the collective, one of our biggest shows of the year. I think I did say this about the world title last year, but like this could have been a spot to build up a new challenger for JCW at the collective weekend, or done something with the GCW title. Have like Mance or somebody should have came out to further along the story of what help. I don't know, like. I just don't think it helped further along anything other than it just was a matches to have matches. I think those 2 spots against Masha and against Blake could have been used to help elevate or showcase even upcoming talent or talent we're going to see a collective so close to the collective. I just wish that was better presented. And Eric Cannon, like I said, could have had a good match against Alley Catch, against anybody else that's on the roster. Just not for the title, in my opinion. But as you said, it probably was one of those weekends of going like, and I'm going to be the same way. I know Eric Cannon. I've seen his matches like on Twitter online, but I haven't I haven't followed his career like as some of these other ones. So that's why we watch so much for us. I think I got him confused with another wrestler because, like I said, I thought he even like took a break and took a like little short retirement from wrestling and then came back. So I obviously don't know much of Eric Cannon too. So like this is on me as well.
Well, okay, then we're in the bucket together. Fuck it, right?
Yes, 2 tears in a bucket.
Okay, so exactly. Alex over here said these matches with Blake right now just seem as placeholders till the collective. I'm gonna say I kind of feel that way too, only because I remembered one thing that Joey Janela said a couple shows ago, and that was he wants to go into the collective as a champion. And I really feel that if there's a challenger to come up here that would be a big game kind of challenger, it's going to be Joey Janela. And if you look, Joey Janela's due, and he has totally earned it. With the amount of maturity that he has, he could make something really impressive out of his run. The creativity level is so damn high. I don't know. I don't know if you wanted to say anything else about that, but just, yeah, I think it's a placeholder until we have that Janela match.
I'll be honest with you, and this is no shot on Blake. Like we've talked about this. I feels like his entire title reign maybe has been placeholders. Like there's haven't been any story built at all. Like no challenger, no consistent person going for him. It's just been new face, new defense, new face, new defense, it just seems like it's just matches. And I think for me, I want the champion to have the story, and matches just to be matches could be thrown on without the title being involved. Like that's what's pissed me off about this whole reign. That's kind of why I was upset about Eric Cannon getting these 2 shots. We're not going to see him again for a while. We're not going to see him at Collective. And this time, 1 month away from Collective should have been, I think like every match, like at least a lot more of these cards should be kind of helping building more towards the Collective. And it has been awesome seeing the Manson FE and the Violence is Forever, the tag team, the titles and all that stuff. I just wish the title matches had more stories going into it other than just the outside non-title scene has all the stories.
I can't improve upon that. I agree with you. The listeners agree with you. I don't know what else to say about that one. I'll leave it flat.
Joey is overdue too.
100% overdue.
I agree.
I'm looking forward to it. It's coming.
I think I did say a while ago, it would be kind of cool if we get like a bunch of GCW regulars like Joey, Mance, Effie, all these people just get the title and lose it, get the title, lose it. I think I said that before, just like the year of 2024, all the regulars just get the title and lose it, but like do cool stories with it, like while it's going on, like do a cyclical, like just about GCW kind of stories with, and Joey winning with Manser and Effie now involved. Like, and yeah, who knows what's going to happen. But I just wish there was something for me to get excited for to happen. Like, I don't know, like I'm excited for the Collective and the crazy matches, but like last year I kind of had a feeling East West Express was going to win. We kind of had feelings of stories going in with Effie having the big match against Maki Death Kill. Like, I don't know. I just wish the champions were in a bigger spotlight with more stories to investment for possible new fans for the biggest shows of your year to get involved and get into GCW a lot more than kind of what these matches kind of led into this weekend.
You just want a little more meat on the bone. You want a reason for why they're in the ring together.
I want a lot more meat.
I get it.
Yes. All right. Here we go. Our next matchup is the tag team match, as we were just kind of talking about this team. Maki Death Kill go against the Rejects. Like I said, just seeing Gage back-to-back nights is a treat on itself. He fucking looks amazing, man. Like he looks even better now than what he was when he was having these matches with Leo Rush and all them. So it is nice to see him still in shape. And now, like even every time I see him, I'm thinking maybe he could slide back into the title scene somehow, some way. Even though I kind of want him to stay away for a little bit, he could always work his way in there. And think that he's a now. I definitely would love to see it. And this was a good match against the Murdochs, the Rejects, because I think Murdoch and Bentley. We've kind of talked about Murdoch and Bentley engaged in like deathmatch scenes. It'd be kind of fun to see those just in singles matches. And then now we add in Maki, who added a different little element here and had her crying fit. I enjoyed seeing, but this was a good match. I enjoyed what this match was, and I think this was one of the best rejects matches I've seen as well. Not involving the fuckery.
So I wrote down here that this was a better match than the MD Kill match that was going on for the previous night. The rejects were absolutely not welcomed by the fans. Again, they have a soft spot in my heart because I wrote here they are textbook Southern heels. I'm live and die on my Southern heels, and I'll live and die on my bitchy valets. I love mean women, managers, valets. Love them. Sensational Sherry from day one for me. But I'll just kind of go through this. They went for 14 minutes, which was more than I expected. Sometimes in a gauge match, usually those will run around 10 or so. But Maki Death Kill ended up with the win here. Gage grabbed a microphone and he doubled down. Their focus is on the GCW tag team titles. So again, there's a pattern here where all these tag team titles all at once are calling out violence is forever. So maybe they smell blood. I don't know, but there is a motivation somewhere there, and I can't wait to find out where that motivation leads all of these stories.
Yeah, there's just so much of it. Like we talk about, like not enough in the world title holders, but for stories, we got so much in tag division. We don't even know where to go or where to start. But I just think any way it goes, it's going to be awesome to see. Any variations of these tag teams have been awesome, and yeah, I don't think we talk about the rejects could possibly joining that tag division and like they just offer the extreme ultra violent style to that tournament. If they were to ever have a tournament, like they just offer a different style to the division. I think everyone's so unique. I think that's why I'm so excited, and of all the possibilities that could happen, you just never know what can happen. They all have seemed to mesh well as well. All right, we ready for our main event?
Hey, you know what? I'm going to say something real quick before we go too far into this. Mance's night here and the night before, I really like ending the night on a knockdown, bloody-ass death match. I'm a big fan of that. I'm okay with the GCW being knocked down once if something like this is delivered at the end of every night. Feels dirty and gritty, and it's like, it's the last match of the night. Tear the fucking house down. Feel free to break some shit. Let's have some fun, and that's what seems to be happening in Mance Warner match. I love it. I love every bit of it. It's great. Sorry, I don't know. I got excited.
No,
it's midnight on the East Coast or more. Fuck, it's 1 o'clock on the East Coast. Good.
I'm glad. Oh yeah, shit, it is 1 o'clock. No,
that's
I'm
awesome.
Same way. I'm glad that the main event scene is ending. These shows, last 2 shows have ended with the story continuing, like kind of like cliffhangers. Like it gets me into the next show. Like, what am I expecting the next show? What do I want to see the next show? Like these last 2 shows, Mance Warner, I cannot wait till he gets his ass whooped by Effie. It's like that they're building him up so perfect in this heel spot, but also ending these shows to get the fans even like now. I'm a whole week of I want fucking Mance to just eat it. And then when that match was announced today, I was like, holy shit! Like I was unexpected to see that match announced just because it's for this weekend and not for collective, but I got a little payoff to something that happened on Saturday night that I was invested in, and I was very happy to see all that kind of come together earlier before we recorded tonight as they announced that Effie versus Mance Warner match. But Mance is showing why he is main events caliber. He's been showing why we've been asking him to be the main event and to help carry GCW and everything. And yeah, I enjoyed the bloodiness that Nate Webb was willing to take. And I love the opening of him messing up the song and the sing-along before the crowd could really get into it. I was actually expecting it to happen a lot earlier than when it did, but when it did happen, I was excited to see it. And it was nice to see Nate Webb back. I kind of do miss seeing him.
You said that on purpose, bro. I'm not big on Nate Webb, and it's nothing mean, nothing bad. I know, look at you. You're like sacrilege. No, I'm not big into a 4 or 5 minute sing along. I don't know the song. He's like 50. So being a teenage dirtbag's kind of, so Mance was out first. He was working the microphone. Fans cannot stand him. Hometown Webb comes out. Mance attacks and cuts off Nate Webb's entrance. Fans are mad. I would love for Mance to look at the screen because I know he's a WCW fan, and go say hello to the bad guy. If he just do that one time, I'd lose my shit. I'd love the old Razor Ramon. Cameos by Mance's mom and Nate Webb's dad in this match. You could see where they got involved in their own little ways. I'm a big fan of hardcore matches main eventing. See, there it was. I'll just go ahead and get that one out because I got too excited and blew that one right out of the water. Mance did win via cheating. Perfect heel work from entrance to exit by him. This match had doors, a door bridge, ladders, chairs, garbage cans, a screwdriver, pliers, exposed turnbuckles, and more. So yeah, that's 20-minute fucking match. And there was fucking, oh God, I loved it. I have like 4 or 5 words in my head to describe it. I loved it.
If this is the Mancer we are going to possibly see as a champion, give it to me right now and inject it, because this is what I've been asking for a while. These last 2 nights, as you said, the perfect way. Mancer, like these 2 nights showcase why he should be the champion. Because we're talking about how awesome it was, and this is, once again, no knock on Blake, but that we barely talked about the Blake matches, and we've been spending all this time on the Mance, but Mance has been killing it, but he's given the time, the story, the purpose to deliver, and he is delivering. We just want it from Blake. Same thing. Give Blake the opportunity, give him a story, and I think he could excel. But I hate to say it, at this time, I don't think he would be on anywhere at Mance Warner's level right now, doing what Mance is doing as champion, or even as champion, what Blake's doing. I don't think he could do what Mance is doing. I think Mance is bringing exactly what he said. This is what GCW was about. It wasn't about that flippy shit of coming in and out. It's about the blood, the sweat, the ultra violence, and he is showing what being a GCW champion should be, how it should be represented, and he is the perfect representation right now of what I want to talk about and defend when I'm talking about my GCW world champion. Mance is the champion. I want to be the one saying and showing this is what GCW is about as of late, especially after these 2 nights.
You know, Mance is a great example of what you can do with your character and the accompanying storylines. If you just apply yourself, it's not that hard to sit there and go, what do I have to say? How do I want to say it? Gee, I'll pick up my phone, cut a promo, post it online. All my fans will see it. It'll get reposted by all the podcast people and all the fans. And then boom, I'm fresh in people's minds. Mance is doing that now. And it has created a big, I don't have a good word for it. I almost said uproar, but it's just, there's a dust storm now before Mance comes into town, and that wasn't there before. Like, there's anticipation now for his matches, and he's created a lot of that on his own. It's somewhat Cardona style. He's working his ass off and doing his job. And instead of maybe sitting at home and doing nothing, dude goes, you know what? Let me write out this promo. So while somebody might be playing a game or something, dude's sitting there writing his promo out. Some people may be sleeping. He's over there trying to figure out another way to add a dimension to this ball that him and Effie's made together. And again, I hope younger cats are taking notes on this, because this is the way you sell yourself at a time where they only have 1-2 shows a weekend. That's it. And so you got to put yourself out there somewhere. And if you only have 12 minutes on a weekend, or maybe 20 minutes collectively on 2 matches on a weekend, that's not enough time to truly expose yourself. Exposure's in your own hands. Anyway, wow. Just kidding. I'm done with that one. I had to say it.
No, I think him getting that exposure, but he also has to deliver, and he absolutely is delivering.
Yes.
Like I said, I think this is what, when I got into GCW, this is what I would want to show people as the main event, and this is the bloody wars, and look at Mance, and look at where they're fighting all over the place. Look at them fighting in the crowd. Look at Mance getting this, like, this shows the crowd interaction, shows what's cool about GCW. Mance is showcasing GCW. Joey Janela's talked about it lately. She's showcasing GCW. Effie, like, they're all starting to showcase it. Gringo Loco showcasing GCW in his lucha way. I'm loving seeing all the regular showcase and what they want GCW, but Mance right now is what I want to showcase GCW to other fans, and what got me into GCW. And this is exactly what's happening. And I am excited if he gets a title. Hopefully he does get the title run here soon, but from what he could do after these 2 nights, not as a champion, I'm excited what he could do carrying shows as a champion.
And I say I'm not a Nate Webb fan. I have no hatred. I'm saying both of them killed it in this match. You can't have a 20-minute match and it not be somewhat decent. No, Nate doesn't wrestle all the time, and he killed it in this one. And Mance was a great dancing partner.
Yeah, I think this was like we were talking about like a thank you or like a kind of a homecoming. I think this was obviously for Nate Webb. He should get this match, but look, it's not for the title. Why does like the guy that you're promoting this whole show around? He didn't get the match against Blake Christian. This shows like, but I think it went better with Vance Warner beating the absolute ever living shit out of him in his hometown to help get the heel heat that Manser wants. But I'm just saying, like, that's where I think that you could be using these names and doing other cool stuff with those names that doesn't have to involve the title scene and bog that stuff down. And yeah, Nate Webb definitely killed it. I was happy to see him do that in his comeback match, and good for him. Very good for him. I am the opposite. I hear Teenage Dirtbag anytime. I think of him. Think of him showing the tickets of how he got 2 tickets to Wheatus and the Iron Maiden and stuff like. I'm all in on the Nate Webb gimmick. I'm all in on him cooking too. I follow him on Twitter. He does a lot of cooking stuff online. I always watch where he cooks.
I'll check that out. That's cool.
Stuff online. He always. Yeah, he posts a lot on Twitter, and so I like seeing out the meals and stuff that he cooks out, and he kind of shows you like the progress of it and everything. So that's been a fun part of Nate Webb's Twitter. Has been more food for me than wrestling.
Damn, dude. Speaking of which, I've been into getting back into Action Bronson shit again. That Fuck That's Delicious on YouTube. Dude, it's so good, and he's been putting out a bunch of more episodes recently. It's like, man. Okay. Back to this. Should we go ahead and say we've wrapped up GCW's Keep in Touch?
Yeah, I just wanted to shout out too. I kind of like this saying. It kind of is good. Mance is the backbone of GCW, while Effie is the heart.
Dude, I
like that.
There's so many
holds everything together, but Effie, yeah.
There's so many quotables coming out of the night between us and the fans. This is a very good night. I wouldn't even say fans, just listeners, like awesome listeners. So, but yeah, that was Keep in Touch. GCW's Keep in Touch from the Marriott East in Indianapolis, Indiana. Now, the same night as GCW's Keep in Touch, there was something else going on. So this is our little bonus match here. So on March 2nd, IWS from Montreal, Canada, summoned GCW for a challenge to assemble a team and fight them. GCW sent up Effie, Alley Catch, Jimmy Lloyd, and Joey Janela to take part in an 8-person tag team ultimate death match. In the end, though, the home team won, but we did not go down easy. It took 36 minutes for one of us to get pinned in the ring. I think that's a great showing by Team GCW. You can find the match on Triller Plus. So if you get a chance, go out there and check it out. We just wanted to give you another little, hey, this is where your GCW people are. So there you go. We were up there defending our name on someone else's territory. And I think for almost 36 minutes, that's a hell of a job.
Is this the match Manny went off the stage again or off the
balcony
again?
Yeah. Then he went to the hospital for a concussion.
That was a replay.
I believe, no, I don't know if that's a replay. I have to go back and look. See, I watched this one when I was tired. I know he went to the hospital with a concussion, and then someone else got slashed bad, but I forget who it was. Anyway, I don't want to sit here and be like, well,
I have to go check that out.
Please do. It was a cool match. And I think fans should check it out. That's kind of why I wanted to mention it for sure was, hey, I mean, come on, Effie, Alley, like it's a great little setup there. But that's why we didn't see them on that second night of the weekend. They were up in Canada defending us. So there we go. Just wanted to kind of get that out of the way.
Yeah. I know Alan and Reed been talking about this Beyond Show Friday. And yeah, this Beyond Show actually is going to be kind of crazy. We can mention it. We're not like, whatever. Alec Price and Cardona on Beyond. That's going to be nuts. That's again a very big crowd. That Beyond Show does look exciting. I did not know Joey will be there Friday. I didn't see who he's wrestling against, but I know that is a stacked, I think it's like a weekend. They're doing a bunch of shit But I just know from the one card I saw with Alec Price and Cardona, it was stacked, and I definitely am going to check that out this weekend. I got spring break, so I got plenty of time to watch a lot of wrestling coming up here soon.
Oh gosh, that's going to be fun. Yeah, I
Right.
have to catch up on some shit too. Upcoming showtime?
Yes, let's do the upcoming shows. You have good notes. I'll let you do that work.
Oh shit, here we go. All right, guys, here comes a lot of reading. I'm only at a 3rd grade level, so let's see what happens here. So here's our upcoming shows at GCW. Our first one's going to be March 9th. This is 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. GCW's Ashes to Ashes. This will be live from the Showboat in Atlantic City, New Jersey on Triller TV Plus. This card has Effie versus Mance Warner, Nick Gage versus, help me here, Ryuji Ito. Yep. I think would be the best. Ito. Tremont versus Abdullah Kobayashi, Danhausen versus Charles Mason, Tony Deppen versus Microman, Violence is Forever versus Shunt, I guess. Los Macizos versus Teriyaki and Mr. Danger. Teriyaki's back. And then the team of Blake Christian and Shane Mercer versus the Garbage Daddy. So that wraps up GCW's Ashes to Ashes. Next,
That is a card.
Morning. Dude, that's a fantastic card. There's a lot of stuff going on. The Effie and Mance rematch. I don't even know who's in Shunt. Who's the X? Is that I don't even know who that is. I haven't had a chance to look that up. See, now I'm playing.
I'll look that up real fast.
Okay, yeah, but Abdullah Kobayashi, I'm happy to see him back. He's like, yeah, dude, he's just blood. That's all he is. He reminds me of Abdullah the Butcher, which is why I like him so much. Let's see. Microman's back, and against Tony Deppen, that's going to be cool as shit too, because Tony's another one where he could really make something out of this. Oh, that'll be good.
Dark Sheik and Sawyer Wreck.
Is that who it was? No kidding. Okay, so that's a new one. All right. So then our second, there's actually 3 shows on this weekend. So our second show will be Sunday, the 10th, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. JCW's live on GCW. It's basically JCW live on GCW's YouTube page. They have not really given it a name. They just said it's JCW. This card has Masha Slamovich versus Marcus Mathers, Broski Jimmy versus CPA, Charles Mason versus Hunter Drake, Teriyaki versus Mr. Danger. We also have appearances by the main event. Mecca will also return to GCW. And then for our third card, man, everything's a match to me. Our third card of the weekend is going to be Sunday, March 10th. It's going to be directly after, I'd say about an hour or two after the JCW show. 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. This is GCW So Much Fun. Also from the Showboat in Atlantic City, New Jersey. This card, there I said card this time, has Blake Christian versus Masha Slamovich. I would say it's the rematch. We have a championship rematch there. We have the MDK club. That's Gage, Maki, and John Wayne Murdoch versus Thrussie. Ryuji Ito and Abdullah Kobayashi will be on a team together versus Los Macizos. John Wayne Murdoch versus Casey Catal and what's going to be, I'm sure, a bloody mess. Rich and Powerful versus the Garbage Daddies. And then lastly, so far to be announced, is Brandon Kirk versus Microman. So we have 6 matches on that card. GCW tends to put an average of about 9 matches on a card. So if you count it up there, there's going to be a couple matches that still have yet to be announced. And they've been rolling out this whole week so far. So we expect more matches to be added here shortly. Hopefully another 3 on this one.
Yeah, just real fast too. I think the JCW show is March Madness. I was thinking the same thing, but they didn't fully on it. I didn't see any full on it either too, but I just assumed it was March because that's what they usually do is March Madness. Oh, and it's a Tremont and not Murdoch. That's why it's the MLD like that.
Oh my god, dude!
Second night.
Oh my god, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? I was saying, so you said it wasn't Murdoch, it was Tremont. How did I get Murdoch out of that then?
Yeah, that's why there's a MD. Kill Club. That's why when I saw you had Murdoch there, I was like, wait. And then I thought maybe they took out Murdoch and I missed it. But that card looks fantastic too. Like this is a good weekend. I think Cass said he's going to probably be there, but this is going to be a fun. This is the AC weekend for GCW. This, out of those two main cards, I don't see a miss at all. I'm looking forward to every single one of them. All of them are going to, there's going to be a lot of ultra violence. Thank God, because I think we've kind of missed it, even though this week there was a lot of violence as well. But to hear the glass shatter at the terminal, I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to hear it. And yeah, this weekend is a lot of fun wrestling for GCW. And I'm interested to see how that JCW show sounds kind of light right now, even though Teriyaki versus Mr. Danger is kind of on my radar for that JCW card. But we've been talking about, even though we don't really cover the JCW shows too much, but I know I've been kind of saying that the last like 3 shows have been very, very good that JCW has done just as a standalone event, because they do a lot of their storytelling then, and it's been cool because that's what gets me kind of into the JCW stuff, because some matches thrown together, but they have a lot more of the stories, and it's been kind of more cohesive and been going on from show to show. So I'm interested to see what kind of happens there with JCW. And Marcus Madnezz challenging Masha should be a good match for the JCW champion as well. This weekend looks crazy. Like, I didn't know. I knew the first night was stacked like that, but I didn't know night 2 had that crazy of a card as well. And I'll be watching a lot of wrestling this weekend. Nice to see Casey Catal back in GCW. Right? I know we kind of talked about her praises and brought up her name just recently. That I am very much looking forward to see her comeback match against John Wayne Murdoch.
Dude, night 2 looks bloody. MDK Club versus Thrussie. And then Ito and Kobayashi versus Los Macizos, Murdoch versus Casey Catal. Like, that's a lot of blood right there. So, and then night 1, Tremont versus Kobayashi. Wow.
That's going to be fun. I think that's going to be probably the bloodiest match of the weekend. That just has craziness all over that one.
God, I hope so. I really hope so. Oh my gosh, we did it. We did it, dude. How you feeling?
We did it.
And for whoever came in to listen,
2 hours. Let's go.
I know, right? Well, so for us, a lot of people know we usually have another hour or so in us, but like, we're doing great right now. I want to at least make sure I thank everyone for listening, because this is awesome. You guys get to see the first new rendition of Game Changer Weekly. And for everyone that is over here, I know y'all are listeners and we freaking love you guys. And a lot of you I'm talking to daily. And if you're not, please hit me up, because I have a lot of fun and we're just talking GCW all the time. We're fans. We're fans. We're not anything more than just fans. Also, that Missy Hyatt on the 10th. I think Brett booked her as a joke so that she can chase around Blake Christian backstage. I think she's trying to dick ride. I'm just going to put it out there like that. I think she is.
Nah, man. I think, I don't know if she's been inducted to the Independent Hall of Fame, but she'd be an interesting name that we were kind of talking about inductees last episode that we did on the Plant podcast. That would be a good name, I think, because all the stuff that she provided a lot out there for the old ECW and independent wrestlers, and she's still active and currently following the products and stuff too. So that's one name. I just, when I saw her name pop up there with Alan, I thought that would be a very good name, I think, if she's not already into the Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Well, I'll say this much. There was a promo that went on where Jimmy Lloyd was sitting at a table. This was probably 2-3 shows ago. And Steph DeLander and Cardona were yelling at him how he wasn't being a broski and this and that. And he said, "I'm going to call Mom." And he gets his phone and he goes, "Hello, Mom." And I wonder if Missy Hyatt's going to be his mom. If that's going to be Jimmy Lloyd's mom.
That would be kind of cool if they brought her back in a capacity. I don't know if she would or not, but that would be fun.
Even a one-time off, just to have her come out and go, "That's my boy."
But yeah, first episode on Game Changer Weekly. I had fun. We got through both of them. We went a little bit longer than we expected, but I think we hit good on time. It's good for us on time, I guess, 2 hours. Yeah. And we have quite a few listeners in here. So thank you everyone again. Thank you again, Cassidy, BodySlam.net, and everyone else involved. Thank you, Reed and Alan, for hanging out with us. And yeah, this is going to be fun shows. I cannot wait to talk even next week. If Cassidy hops on with us, all the shit that he's going to see live and in person firsthand. all the stories that he's going to have for us. And I can't wait to watch these shows because that's going to be there. We had a lot to talk about this one. I think holding it to 2 hours, next one's going to even be harder after seeing these cards. And yeah, we're going to definitely have a lot to talk about next Tuesday night.
You know, that's the one problem we have that others don't have is we actually have to condense. This was a condensed thing we just did here. We had another hour if we actually sat here and didn't push ourselves. So this is awesome. And the way it looks right now, it's going to be every Tuesday. We're going to shoot for 8:30 p.m. on the Pacific. That's 11:30 them on the East Coast. Basically, it's old school rebel late night wrestling talk. That's just what we're going to do. We're going to sit here. If you have insomnia, so do we. Fucking sit down and chill and talk live with us. I mean, that's what it's all about. And like I said, Thursday, we're going to try to kick it, like be more like a kickback show. It's going to be something we do more for fun. It's nice to have other people jump in there and talk with us. So I think we're just going to be laid back. And I think a lot of the resources are going to be to make sure that this Game Changer Weekly show is brought back up to the prominence that it needs to be. And we're going to do everything we can to be the torchbearers that hopefully can make ownership proud, and that fans can be entertained by our stupidity. We're just trying to make sure that all the fans have a place to go. And we hope we can be there for you, because I can tell you this much. A lot of our listeners and fans have been there for us, and we're very appreciative of that.
Yes, definitely. I've had a couple fans ask what's going to happen with the Plant podcast. It's still going to go. As John said, it's probably just going to be a more laid back version, get some more fans on and just talk about everything that's going on GCW. And we're going to try to keep the Game Changer Weekly. We're going to bring our strong stuff here and try to bring the podcast that we normally do to this channel while doing the podcast that we do on the Plant, while giving, as what I originally wanted, more fans a voice to talk wrestling, and we will be getting more people on there. So thank you for Cassie, for letting us do that as well and keep our own thing going while still doing Game Changer Weekly. And this was very fun. I enjoyed it. I still think it's just a surreal moment for me, just looking up at the screen, seeing Game Changer Weekly on, and our faces where the Righteous Reg and KG used to be. It's kind of surreal to me. So thank you again, everybody at BodySlam.net, Cass. And we hope we do you proud and bring Game Changer Weekly to where it was and being talked about, and bringing our voices to the fans out there and get more people on board and grow more plants, as I call the GCW fans.
Yeah.
Even though some of them don't like when I call that.
Get GCW on board, get Brett on board. We have a whole fuck ton of wrestlers that we're waiting to eventually start bringing on. Guests will be coming. Interviews will be coming. We're going to keep this thing rolling, and that's just how it is. So this is a situation where Brant and I now have been in this about 1.5 years. The early part of July will be 2 years for us. So we've had our downfalls up and down. We've had every technical mistake you can ask for. We generally know how to fix anything that comes about. We have hit illnesses. We've hit COVID. We've hit deaths. We've hit everything in our way, and we're here and we're thankful. So let's see where this goes, but we're trying to basically be in a partnership with as many people as we can and help put GCW and its performers, most importantly, on the map.
Yes. And read the know what you're doing, hopping in the you and Alan, awesome. Everyone else that came by and hung out, watched, even though it's that is just awesome. You guys showing up and providing topics, and reach out to us on Twitter. I know I was bad on the banners, so I want to create some banners now that we got this stuff, but we will upgrade our graphics and everything a little bit better next time as well. And we'll put our Twitter handles, and you guys mostly follow us on Twitter anyway. Reach out for us for topics and questions and anything else, because we got some good ones going on online, and right before show days are always fun discussions right before the shows.
We fucking love you.
Is there anything else? Yes.
Anything? Yeah, we just fucking love you.
Anything else, John, before we head them out of here?
Yeah, thank you to everyone else who helps us out too. Our family, everyone who supports us out there. We topped like 500 listens on our last episode. That took us months to do when we first started. Getting 6 listeners was like, holy shit, we got 6 listeners. Dude, that means that there were 2 because we were 4 of them. My wife, your wife, me, you,
Right.
like there was 4 listens. It's like, shit. Then it was double digits. Now here we are. So thank you so much. We're doing everything we can. We want to do what we can to partner up and just make a home for fans to kind of just sit down and be like, all right, man, let's kick it for the night with someone. And hopefully that's what we do. Yeah.
All right.
You ready?
Yes, we are ready.
We'll never
All
get
right,
this
let's
right.
see
But
how should we do it here for the team? Well, we got to do it right on this one at least. Come on now.
okay, you ready?
We can't. We practice. We had 80 something practice episodes. We got to get this one right.
Yeah. Okay, you ready?
Okay. I know. Yeah, and our timing on delay is not helping out either.
No, it's not. Okay, ready? Long. Fuck. Live. GCW.
GCW.
Fuck.
Thank you again, everyone.
Good night.